Hello, everybody, and happy Sunday. Welcome to this episode of the Racing Insiders podcast, Unsealed, live with Steve and Kate. I'm Kate, by the way. This is Steve.
In case you were wondering.
Yeah, in case you're new here, I'm Kate Dillon from Crate Insider, and I am here today with Steve Hendren from Hendren Racing Engines. So if you've been watching for a while, you know that we love to kick off the show talking about what we're drinking. So, Steve, what are you drinking?
What the hell did you pour in there?
Natural Light.
Oh, okay.
Special edition.
Yeah.
Or exclusive edition or something.
There you go.
Yeah. And I'm drinking a chelada. Yes. I mixed it up myself today. So chelada with Bud Light. Yeah. Here we go. I know. Super exciting. So tell me, Steve, how was your week?
Insane as always.
Yeah. Have you guys caught up some? I mean, for a while there, you guys were like 6 to 8 weeks out or something crazy.
We're getting caught up-ish. It's
Okay.
just, we just keep running into shit where we can't get stuff. You know? Like, can't get 602s again. 604s seem to be something that we'll be able to get here, hopefully in the near future. But yeah, no, it's just been crazy. And like, even on rebuilds, I mean, part shortages everywhere. And I don't know, it's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm running into that. Of course, I'm trying to back up the truck on anything I can buy. And buying as much of it as I can just to have it in stock. Speaking of, we had, it was quite a tragedy this week for anybody who
Kaiser burned the ground.
Yeah, well, I was going to lead into that.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, I mean, that was, so Kaiser.
I didn't know you were going to make a big thing.
Well, no, I mean, I wasn't going to make a big thing,
right.
But I mean, it just, what terrible news. And
it's awful.
Certainly thinking about our friends at Kaiser Wheels. Hope they restart. But I think that the future there, they haven't decided. I mean, obviously you probably have a fight with an insurance company first, and then
we're talking, it's not like next week.
Oh,
if they decide to restart. So
no, I mean, I'm guessing they have got to have some specialty equipment for making
absolutely.
wheels, and that's no small feat.
No.
I know the newspaper that reported it stated that they were estimating about $4 million in damage. So, of course, there was a big run on Kaiser wheels. I've sold out of all my bead locks, but I do have some of the ones with tabs, the standard wheels with tabs. I've got those for now. For now, I don't expect them to last.
No.
Let's say hi to some folks here. I see Scott is here from California, and Ryan's here. He says, "Oh hell, love y'all." Patron and Mick Ultra is what.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
We're not that sophisticated.
I know, it's funny. We have the whole Barsenal. Like, it's only like 15 feet away.
Yeah, I mean,
with all the liquor in it, but here we are drinking beer.
Could break out some whiskey, but
yeah, we could.
It's Memorial Day weekend, so
and that is one thing.
Coppers will be out in force.
Well, I said in the intro though, or I said in the words that go with our scheduled stream, I said that we would be raising a glass to honor our veterans.
Absolutely.
And of course, being Memorial Day weekend, we do honor all of our veterans and thank them. Thank you for your service. Any of you veterans who might be watching, we certainly appreciate that. And David Fountain Motorsports is here. He says hello to everyone. Mark Garner is here. He says, "What's up, Mr. Hall of Fame?" Hall of Fame. Should I just call you Hoff?
Better have some cold beer out there when I get you. That's all I got to say.
Tom is here too, and he says, "Hey, hi from Antioch, California." Susie is here. Hey, Kate Dillon and Steve. Memorial Day weekend, and Terry's here. He says, "Hey guys, ran first race ever with a crate. Nice power."
Oh, good deal.
Oh, good. That's great news. I did have a question earlier this week on Facebook. And the person asked, they had just gotten a new 602. Mm-hmm. They'd run their brake-in oil. And when they emptied the oil, they found a metal sliver. Mm-hmm. Is that something to be concerned about?
A metal sliver? No.
Okay.
That wouldn't be something that would be uncommon.
Okay. I mean, I don't know how many metal slivers you would find to be concerned.
Well,
but
a metal sliver? No.
Okay. Is that kind of to be expected a little bit from a brand new engine?
Yeah, that's what you're going to find.
Okay. Good to know. Well, Mark says that, hey, you better believe I will have some cold ones for you when you are here. When you get
Awesome.
here. That's good. And actually, Tom says plenty of Ultra for you. What's Kate want? me. That's weird to say my name in the third person, but I'm kind of all over the place. So Guinness is always a good choice. Guinness is a great choice for if we're drinking beer, and then of course I'll.
Yeah, but if you're drinking at a racetrack, I mean.
Yeah.
Because you like your Guinness in a glass.
Well, like my Guinness in a can, but you know that there's no way that I'm traveling without bringing like a stainless steel mug with me.
There's that. So.
I mean, come on. I mean, I try to. I'm a prepper here. I'm prepared. Bloody Marys are good. Chiladas, the Bud Light chiladas in a can, those are a good choice.
Oh yeah.
Of course, I'd look redneck as hell with my 40, because that's the only thing that they make them in is those. Yeah.
We're going to Antioch. You won't look redneck, trust me.
Oh, okay, good. Good. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to wear to a Hall of Fame thing.
Clothes, preferably.
Should I wear a gown?
No.
Should I wear a fabulous gown to the Hall of Fame festivities? Let's see. Roy's here tonight, and he says, "Hey guys, on my way to a track for night 2, 27 pro stocks in Yreka, California."
Eureka.
Yeah. Well, man, nice. I knew Eureka, but it said a Y, so I was just pronouncing it just like that because there's a Yreka someplace. I don't remember where it's at. I think there is anyway. Mm-hmm. Anyway, California. Anyway. And Brian's here. Brian Littleton's here.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah, Brian Littleton from Race Logic. Of course, we've always got glowing things to say about the Race Logic chassis schools. And he's down south watching 5,000 to win a street stock race.
That was a good show.
See, right there, that is 5,000 to win out there. And, it just tells you there's some big money in street stocks. And those classes that we do are such a great investment.
For the price of those cars, there better be some money in it.
Yeah. Oh, no. And Roy is saying, no, it's Yreka, not Eureka.
Well, I say it Eureka.
Okay. Wow. Fred's here. He says hello from New Mexico.
People also mispronounce where I used to be from California. Well, I mean, Santa Cruz is a no-brainer, but like where our shop was in Soquel, Souquel is how it's pronounced. Yeah. That's how it's spelled. People call it Sokol if they're not around. Yeah, it's like really stupid.
I mean, I would think maybe.
So I'm not from Yreka, so I call it Eureka.
Yeah, I mean, you could maybe get Soquel out of it, but.
Yeah, Soquel. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
I know people struggle with Rutherfordton, North Carolina.
I struggle with Rutherfordton, North Carolina. I've just kind of tapered off at the end.
But you refuse to say Ruffton.
It's like when people want your mailing or your shipping address, it's like RUTHER, and then you wait for them. FORDTON. So.
Well, if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them into the comments.
What was that? Rutherford.
Yeah, that would even be hard to cheer. That would really be hard to cheer. Go Rutherfordton! Go Rutherfordton! Yeah, that's way too many syllables. Now we know why it's Ruffton.
Yeah.
Go Ruffton! Go Ruffton! Fish Mama! Go Ruffton! Yeah.
Which is what people around here call it.
I know, and now we know why.
It's shortened up to Ruffton.
Yeah, because it fits in a cheer.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever it takes. Hey, so how about you? Did you get any interesting questions this week?
I know I say ask me questions. I don't have a problem with it, but just this week was like stupid question week. So,
what would be an example of a stupid question?
I don't know. It just depends on the mood I'm in at the time. Honestly, I'd have to think on that. Because I mean, I always say there's no such thing as a stupid question, but sometimes there is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a problem answering them. It's just like sometimes when I get off the phone, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, that's why I make videos.
Yeah.
I make videos so that the questions can get answered.
Yeah.
I'm more of a one-to-many than I am a one-to-one. I mean, we were talking about that.
I got off. We kind of left early on Friday because, my guys do need a break, and so do I. So I went to my local, this place here, Don Ramon. I walk in and sit at the bar there, get me a beer and order some food. This dude's like, "Oh, what do you do?" He noticed my shirt. I'm like, I build race engines for a living. He's like, I got a 1975 Bronco. I'm like, dude, I don't work on fucking street cars. And I said it just like that because I already knew where the conversation's leading. because they automatically want to talk about their fucking piece of shit Bronco. And I'm like, dude, I don't work on street cars. But it's got a 350. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know what you got. I said, all I work on is race cars. Which is a lie. But I didn't want to talk to some bitch. So that was kind of week I had. It was just like, people call, and the stupid questions all week weren't like racing questions. They were like people calling, like, you know, asking stupid questions about their piece of shit
yeah,
75 Bronco.
I have this like Chevy engine, and here's like the number that's on the blog. Can you tell me what it is?
Yeah.
No, I cannot.
Right.
I'm not your guy.
I have no interest in telling you.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you found it in a junkyard, or you found it in the corner, or somebody died and you inherited it. No.
So that's my idea of a stupid question.
Yeah, I would agree.
When I get a phone call, it's like, I already know it's a local person because it's a local number, and they want to know how much to rebuild their, 302 Ford and their 89 Mustang. I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm going to waste my time telling this dude how much I'm going to charge him, and he's going to be like, oh, okay, thanks, and never come in. So that's a stupid question.
I would agree.
So I don't even waste my time anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't have time to do it.
It'll be $1 million, and you'll have it in 2024.
Or I'll overquote it. I'll just be like, how much to rebuild my 302 and my 89 Mustang? I'm like, $6,000. And they have a heart attack and the phone. I never hear from them.
You are kind of a jerk. Yeah. All right. We got some questions here. Actually, before we get to the questions, Roy says that he's at Siskiyou Golden Speedway right by Mount Shasta.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty cool. All right. Terry's got a great question. He says, does setting your valves on a 602 at three-quarter open them a little?
Do what now?
I'm guessing that's three-quarter turn crew load.
On a 602. It will if the lifter's pumped up all the way. So that's nothing to be alarmed about. So yeah, when you set it at three-quarter preload, it's nothing to see the valve open. But if you let it sit there for 15 minutes, come back, or 10 minutes, that lift will be bled down. Okay. So the valve will no longer be open. Is what I'm getting at.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's not uncommon.
Gotcha. All right, Joe's got a question. He says,
damn, I'm like burpy. Sorry.
Okay. You're burpy.
Yeah.
Burpy Steve. Burpy Steve. All right. Joe asks, what size power valve do you usually end up with in a 4412 Holly on a 602 crate?
I'm sorry. I cannot tell you. I don't know. I'm not a carburetor guy. That would be a really good question for my brother, who is a carburetor guy, or one of the carburetor people we deal with, which would be David Smith, Willie, Stealth.
Yeah.
Those guys.
And David Smith was on our show last week, or at least
David does a lot of two-barrel stuff, I think, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
David does. I know Willie does. I don't know about Tony, but I know the two of them do.
I'm getting a refill over here.
I hear that.
Mm-hmm. I made a whole picture.
So, yeah, I mean, that'd be a question I asked them, because I honestly don't know.
I wonder if we could ever get your brother on our show.
Shit.
Yeah, it's pretty much. My brother will probably go. My brother would be on the show.
We should do an impromptu show tomorrow at his house.
We totally will, because we totally should.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're my brother Jimmy Schultz from Dirt Rap. We're actually going to go to his house for a pool party.
We're going to his mansion for a pool party.
Oh my God. His house should have a name. It's an estate at this point.
It should. I mean, it could turn into like a hotel, actually.
Yeah. Totally good. Totally good.
And I'm going to take my car and we're going to have to race before we drink.
That's good that you said you had that qualifier in there before you drank.
Well, of course.
Yeah. I'm not going to say where it's at because I don't want like there to be roadblocks, but we might have to have a start and finish line or something.
Because he's got his Challenger and I got the Charger, so.
Yeah, Challenger and Charger.
Of course, last time me and him raced, I probably think I knocked his quarter panel off, so we might not want to race.
Well, at least you did that in race cars.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. We can be so competitive against each other that I might just knock his fucking quarter panel off if I'm losing.
Wow. And then neither one of you would be happy.
No.
No, that would ruin the day, Steve.
Yeah, but if I win, I mean.
Oh my God, you will be all too hell.
He might be mad.
Okay, I gotta tell you. So we go to a local restaurant here, and his car will be parked, and he'll be watching his car. And as each person that pulls in next to his car, he's like judging their parking ability. I mean, he's just like antsy in his seat. And so if I can, he usually gets there first. And then if I can, I will pull in the spot next to him because he'll usually park on the end. And I do that just to protect his car and, put him at ease.
Yeah.
So no, even if you won, you would not be happy.
No, I just keep an eye out for them fat bastards who have to like open their door all the way and then bang the shit out of the person next to them.
Yeah, or the backers in. Everybody backs
in
around here.
God, what is with that? That is my biggest pet peeve in North Carolina. Everybody backs into their fucking parking place. It's like,
I don't know what that's
just be a normal human. Just pull into the parking place.
Yeah. Okay, we got another question. Yep. So back to valves. Do you set valves pumped up or bled down then?
So long as you can feel where zero is, it doesn't matter if it's pumped up or bled down. So, normally you're turning the push rod with your two fingers right here, like that. And when you screw the adjuster nut down with your other two fingers and you feel it, you feel zero, as long as you can feel that zero, then just go your 3/4 of a turn. It doesn't matter whether the lifter's pumped up or bled down.
Interesting. Oh, Susie's laying in bed with cold-like symptoms and she feels like crap and it's nice to see us.
Oh, I got the Rona.
Are we over that now?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know.
I am.
I don't know. It's been an interesting transition watching as some places are still messed up. It's interesting.
It's fucking, it's stupid.
Yeah.
I'm done with it.
I am too. I'm ready to move on. Move on to the next chapter.
Yep.
Yeah. Which unfortunately is inflation, but there's that,
Right.
I guess we'll have to wait for 6 months to a year for anybody to actually admit that we're experiencing inflation like symptoms.
Like symptoms. It's been like crazy.
Oh, I know that, but that's anecdotal evidence. Remember, So yeah, anecdotal evidence. I don't know. We get political on the show if we want to. Is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even being political. It's just facts of life.
It just
Shit's
is.
going up in price.
It is.
Because nobody wants to work.
Well, I keep getting price increases from manufacturers, and I have no choice but to raise the prices on the website. I mean, that's what.
Well, shipping's gone up, whether it be FedEx, UPS, or trucking, or anything else.
Oh
LTL.
My God! If you can even get it, if you can even get your shipments, yeah, that's fun for sure. So we're working hard on trying to be as stocked up as we can, but a lot of places are still running way far behind. So. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just putting everybody else behind. And that's why we've been behind with what we do.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't get it, you can't get it.
Yeah. It's not like we're holding out on anybody. Mm-hmm. But Susie says no Rona. It's not the Rona.
That's good.
Just cold-like symptoms.
Okay.
Nothing like those summer colds. Yeah. Welcome back, summer colds.
Yeah. It's like around here, like you don't know whether you had a cold or allergies. Well, I do, because I've had allergies all my life, but a lot of people are like, I think I got a cold. No, you got allergies.
Yeah, the pollen isn't as bad because it was like a blanket of yellow on everything for a while.
Well, it's good now, yeah.
Yeah.
But now, shit starts blooming, and as soon as it starts blooming, then I go crazy on allergies again.
And of course, we got some rain yesterday, because we needed the rain.
We did, honestly.
I know we did.
And normally that's our standing joke. It rains all the time here. It's like worse than frickin' Seattle.
So here where we live, it rains an average of 36 inches a year. And in other words, it rains all summer long. And it's fine during the week. It's just so frustrating during weekends when you're trying to, go to the races.
Well, we actually looked that up one time. It's like
that's how
our average rainfall is more than Bangkok, Thailand.
Well,
during
what do they
call it?
They have typhoons and stuff. They have hurricanes.
I said average.
It's not more than them because they get like 100 inches, but they get it in like 3 months. But it's more than Seattle.
It was more than one of them freaking Oriental places.
Maybe, but anyway. Yeah, it was more than Seattle.
I thought it was
that
Bangkok.
was the point. Okay.
I think we get more than Bangkok during rainy season, or whatever they call it.
Yeah, because they get all theirs all at once.
Yeah.
Right. yeah, so it's kind of a crazy
Right.
deal. So we get a lot of rain. So we do have a standing joke, as soon as it's raining, oh, well, we need the rain. I mean, like, there's been times like where my parents' backyard is flooded. Like, you could grow rice. You could have like a rice patty in my dad's backyard, right? And, yeah,
put a carp pond.
Yeah, you totally could. Trout. Yeah, go ahead and run some trout there. And people are like, oh, yeah, we need the rain. Oh, for what? For what? I mean, my dad doesn't want to grow rice. So, no, we don't, when we've got flooding and stuff. Oh, Tom has a really good question. He says, any updates on tires? From what I hear, they're still up in price and scarcity. We had a racetrack here that had to cancel an event.
Like last week. Yeah. I don't know what the current status is. But.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything new. I don't know. It's certainly a big concern of mine.
Yeah.
And unless we know what the ETA is on when tire supplies are going to happen. Well, I actually had a customer that he couldn't go racing because he was going to get tires at the track, and the track said they didn't have any.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Doesn't surprise me.
No, it sucks.
Which is why we need more tire manufacturers.
But yeah, and I haven't heard anything. Have you talked to anybody from American Racer?
I haven't. Yeah.
I haven't either. I don't sell tires, so I don't really. I'm not as connected to that part of the market, or I would have been burning up the phone. Actually, I've been busy putting the warehouse together this week.
I would have talked to Ray Cook. What was it? Last Monday. Was it Monday? I don't know when it was. It's like one of these days. Maybe it was Thursday. Because he was supposed to bring a protested engine down, but then he realized that the person who protested ran my engine. So that would be what we call a conflict of interest. So,
yeah.
No. Otherwise, I could have asked Ray about the American Racer situation.
Right. Yeah, because he's all about some American Racers at his track.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In Brasstown, North Carolina. Where's Brasstown?
In the middle of nowhere.
So just
it's like a really hard place to get to because there's no good way to get there.
Wow. But
he's got a great little track there.
Yeah, because I haven't been there.
Western North Carolina, like almost to Georgia.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I have to take a look at that and make a trip. Be fun. Mm-hmm. Check that out. Ray's a nice guy. I finally got to meet him at the Cars Racing Show.
Yeah, that's right.
It was the first time I met him. Obviously, I knew his name.
Yeah.
I'd known his name for a long time. Yeah. Susie said she was hoping that the weather would be hotter and sunny and to have a pool party. But, the roller coaster North Carolina weather.
Exactly.
Yeah, of course. But it's roller coaster everywhere.
But it's not bad. I mean, it's like 70 here.
It's
right now,
perfect right now.
Freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to bitch about it because in about 2 weeks, I'm going to be bitching about how hot it is. So.
Oh, it is literally perfect right now. I mean, I now got this, little cooling fan thing for the laptop because last year in the heat of the summer, man, we burned up some phones and even trying to use a laptop. Like we burned up some equipment last summer because it was so hot. So I was trying to not do that this time. That's my goal.
Yep.
Yeah. So there's that. And yeah, Susie is inviting. She said she'd love for us to come over and swim and partay here.
Hey, that'd be awesome.
Susie and Gary. Yeah. That's great. Yeah.
I'm always up for a good party.
Yeah, you are. Just beer. Beer me, right? Wow, you're almost ready for round whatever round that you're on. Oh, how many rounds of beer are you on right now?
I'm thirsty today for some reason.
You're really thirsty?
Yeah.
Probably all that hot weather all week.
It was hot this week.
It was.
Honestly, this is a nice little break from. It was pretty hot pretty early.
it was wicked hot, and especially in the new warehouse. I mean, there would be like sweat dripping down my face, and I mean, it just wasn't even worth it just to even try to combat it. It was just, I was just lucky my eyelashes didn't fall off. Hey, truth. So, but they stayed on. They hung in there. Oh, but Susie said BYOB, bring your own beer.
Hey, I'm gonna.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, bring out the cooler,
Whip
load it
out
up.
the Yeti.
Yep. Yeah, do that. Or I could roll out the mobile bar. There's that.
There is the mobile bar.
Yeah, I do have a mobile bar.
Not only does she have the Barstool inside, she's got the mobile bar.
Yeah. Thought I heard a screaming cat. I don't know if it's a screaming cat or a screaming kid.
I was a screaming kid.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Otherwise I worry about the little Pippi. Pippi's out somewhere doing Pippi things.
He went upstairs when I went.
Oh, did he? Okay. All right. You just don't know.
Yeah.
Pippi the black cat. He sometimes just appears on the podcast just because he wants to.
Yeah.
That's pretty fun. All right. What else you got? Entertain me, Steve.
I've got nothing.
Oh, I made a trip to Profab this week.
You did, actually, yeah.
Yep. I went on a journey and went down to Profab and filled up the Crate Insider van with a whole bunch of headers. So I have 604 headers and inside the frame rail headers. And coming up soon is the 602 mild steel headers.
Mm-hmm.
So I've sold, I pre-ordered some and I have one set left of my pre-order batch. So that's good.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I won't actually see those. I'll just ship them straight from Profab when those are ready.
So you're going to start shipping at your new place on Monday or on Tuesday, right?
On Tuesday, sure am. Yep. So that's going to be exciting. We actually switched providers as well. So we switched from FedEx to UPS. So UPS is back in my good graces. They haven't always been.
They're like phone companies. You got to just keep playing one against the other.
It's true. I mean, I don't know. It depends on where you're located too. Yeah.
So we're going to have to figure out like the shit we got to ship on Tuesday and the shit you guys are going to ship.
You're not going to ship
everything.
You're not shipping anything.
Okay, we're not shipping nothing. All right.
No.
Gotcha.
Nope, you are not. I got it under control. I've flipped the switch, and I will probably be coming out to the shop. There's some more inventory I need to grab from the shop, obviously, but not as much as I've been hauling stuff across.
Hey, while you were at Profab, did they ever get enough material to start making mufflers?
Yeah, I have mufflers. I have mufflers at the warehouse.
All right.
I have them all. I just haven't brought you any.
Okay.
So if you need some, you have to let me know.
Because I got a phone call the other day, somebody asking for some, but
okay.
I'm like, I don't know. Last I heard,
no, I got them. I think I got like a dozen stainless ones, and I have like 50 of the steel ones on order, but I got like 33. Okay. So it's not it's not 50, but it's some. So yeah, I've got both at the warehouse.
Gotcha.
So when you guys need some, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of back and forth until we get things worked out. Here's a good. Oh, Mikey's here. He says, "Happy Memorial Day, my friends. Happy Memorial Day, Mikey." David says, "Will there be mild steel 604 headers out as well?" I don't foresee that happening. It was something we experimented with a while ago, but we can't break the price enough on that one.
Yeah, the problem that they ran into with the mild steel is, it's about the same price as stainless at the moment. And the amount of labor making them it's basically the same. So really, they're only ultimately about $300 cheaper.
Right, with the 604 stuff, it is.
The 604 is what I'm
it was
talking
like
about,
200 or something.
Yeah.
And so it just wasn't, at that point, you're already spending $1,600 on headers. Like, what's the point at that point, Right. But with the 602s, it's just a little bit of a different process.
Well, yeah, because they're using the different mufflers and everything else.
Different mufflers, different flange, and it's laser cut instead of CNC machine. So you're just getting a different product. So that's why we were able to bring those down to $10.99 is what we're at with the 602 headers.
Which are still a little bit higher price point than what we originally thought they were going to be because of the price of material.
Oh, yeah. The price of steel, if you can even get it. That's the thing.
Yeah,
can you even get it? And so we were excited that we could even get any at all.
Yeah.
So that way, that part's really good. So yeah, I don't foresee us having 604 mild steel headers anytime soon. The demand is so high on the stainless ones that it's actually shocking.
Can't keep them on the shelf.
Usually by the time because I order them in batches, usually by the time that my batch is done, they're generally already sold. So it was pretty, we were able to get a little bit ahead of it. So now I've got some in-house.
And ultimately, for me, I want stainless anyway. Even if it's a higher price point, because they're going to last, 10 times as long. They'll outlast your race car. If you don't wreck them. Yeah. But even if you wreck them, they're repairable usually.
Well, that's what's so ingenious about the new style.
Yeah.
Is that you really have these replaceable parts. So if you knock off a muffler or you knock off a collector,
No, I mean, you can even cave in a tube and they can replace one tube or two tubes or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's not. So I mean,
and it's actually worth
I mean,
it.
to me, the mild steel makes no sense. I mean, the reason it's being made for the 602s is there's certain 602 late model classes where you can't run stainless.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and that's the main
everything in 604 that I'm aware of, you can run stainless.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Steve Siri says, "Hey, Kate and Steve, it's been a minute for me. Love the beer mug." Yeah. Ooh, what was that weird noise? Oh, okay. Curtis Lake is in the house. I'm all like, is the camera making noises at me or what's going on? Mikey says, "Is it possible to get the new style Crate Insider hoodies and maybe a Hendron hoodie?" You know, that's a great question, Mikey. I just had shirts made and I didn't get hoodies made, but I will, next time I get shirts made, I'll reach out to you. I was planning on ordering hoodies this go round, but just then we were getting into summer. So that's why I didn't do hoodies, but I'll do another run.
Yeah, but where he's at, he can probably wear a hoodie most of the time.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Well, and I can ask,
coastal area.
So I didn't tell Steve, but I actually contacted Tina the other day. Mm-hmm. That's the shirts, and told her I wanted a run of Hendron shirts.
There you go.
So I don't know when she's going to print those. She may have those ready already for us when we get there tomorrow. But I have a run of Hendron shirts happening, and if she hasn't run them, I'll see if they can add a hoodie to that. So go ahead and just go ahead and text me or message me what size you want or what sizes you want of the Hendron stuff, and I'll see what I can do for you there, Mikey. All right. Otherwise, we'll get you on the next round. All right. David says, how many quarts of oil do you recommend for a 604? So that's part one. And what are your thoughts on Rotella 1540? God, I haven't had that. I haven't seen that question in a while.
As far as the 604, the amount of oil, I mean, if you're not running a cooler, which I don't really recommend a cooler anymore with modern oils, I'll get it. Then 7 quarts total in the system. And then as far as the 1540 Rotella, I'm not a fan, primarily because the government made anything that's sold over the counter, like at an Advanced Auto Parts, it's not marked racing oil. The government made them take a lot of stuff out of it that is actually very protective to race engines. So yeah, I'm not a fan. Back 20 years ago, 1540 Rotella was a badass oil, and we ran it in race car engines. Nowadays, it's not something I recommend doing. You need something that's actually marked racing oil, which is how they get it. It's not what's the standard? What's it called?
It's the DOT or EPA.
Yeah.
And that if you have like a lot of zinc in it, for instance, Schaefer's, there's only 2 ways you can sell that oil. You can either sell it as a diesel oil or you can sell it as a racing oil. But you're saying on there that it's either racing or for diesel. That's the only way you can add the extra zinc package in it, or some of these other additive packages.
And the Rotella used to be a well-known diesel oil.
Yeah.
But still, because it's got that stamp on there, I can't even remember the name of the stamp. They took a lot of the shit out of it. And it's not just the zinc; it's other stuff.
Yeah, it's like a whole additive package, but they took it out for emissions reasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
anything you buy over the counter that does not say racing oil is not something I would run in a race engine.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean the Mobil One's not terrible.
No, but it's a full synthetic and has it has a different additive package that protects in different ways. I mean, I don't know. You need Buck on here to start talking oil, honestly. Yeah. Because he can explain it better than
we need to invite Buck. Well, we are going to start having some guests on the show. In fact, talked to Don Blackshear this week, and definitely I'm talking to him about coming onto the show. He's made a move. He's down at Roush Yates Racing now, and he of course was at Pace Performance, and he was the motorsports director there for. I've interviewed him before on the show. Don and I have done several videos together before, and I'm looking forward to having Don Blackshear on the show. Great guy, good friend of mine, and now he's closer. He used to be up in Ohio, Pennsylvania area, and now he's down in North Carolina. So I'm looking forward to inviting him on the show. But if Buck is around at some point, we'll have to get Buck on the show for sure. All right, and I see Steve's question. He says, Kate, what are you drinking? A Bloody Mary? I'm actually drinking a Chelada. So it's Clamato juice with Valentino hot sauce with soy sauce and Worcestershire. That's kind of the mix. And usually you put lime. I didn't have lime, so I put lemon and beer. So it's kind of like a Bloody Mary with beer is basically what it is. Michelada or chelada. Yeah, awesome. Oh, and Mikey says, thank you. By the way, awesome promotional video, Alex Hendren. Yeah, Alex did a great job. We haven't posted it on Crate Insider, but you can look up Alex Hendren Racing. I helped him with some of the filming, but he did all of that editing. So that was really cool. All right, when I'm waiting for Steve's taking a beer and bathroom break. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to drop them in. And hey, Steve, your buddy Pat is here. Pat Eisenhower says happy Memorial Day, you guys. So happy Memorial Day to you as well. All right. And Ted, we'll get to your question in just a moment. So yeah, anyway, it's been a super crazy week for me. I will probably have to do a little warehouse tour. I have to call it the warehouse. I would normally call it like the shop, but his place is the shop. So everything has to have a different name. Otherwise it would be confusing.
You're like your top 5 Tuesday thing and do a whole little tour deal down there.
I could. Yeah, I could do that. I'd have to get interested. It'd be interesting with the camera, but
no,
it's going to be a training week for my team. All of this is new for them. So it'll be fun. Day
team.
1. Yeah, the team. Yep. We have awesome assistant Tori and now our shipping director, Curtis Lake. So, yep. And he's actually hanging out here.
AKA right. Mr. Slave.
He's not. No. All right. Ted's got a question for you. He says, have you seen a gain on the dyno with the new spark plug wires you are selling? This is the 3rd year on my Morosa wires, and I'm thinking of a new set, a 602 stock HEI distributor, and it's on methanol.
No. The Morosa Ultra 40s that we use, they're awesome. The fast firewire is awesome. As far as like gains on the dyno, unless it's just like a total pile of crap, like Advanced Auto Parts or AutoZone spark plug wire, no, I've not seen any gains. To me, what makes a difference is like longevity. So the higher dollar wires usually last quite a bit longer than the cheaper price stuff.
Well, you don't see, ignition issues can be such a pain. I mean, they can just absolutely, I've seen it so many times when you get somebody on the dyno and they have some type of electronic or ignition issue. Hard to diagnose, and it's a mess.
It can be. I mean, like on our chassis dyno, usually we will recognize an ignition issue. He's not talking about any ignition problems, but
no.
Like usually if there's a problem, we recognize it immediately because the radiation from it completely screws the computer up.
Mm-hmm.
So we recognize that pretty quick.
But would you say that it is important to have a low resistance wire?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
it's just easier on the ignition system itself.
And one with a really good heat shield, because he just had Morosa wires. I don't know if those are Morosa Ultra 40s.
Well, the Ultra 40s that I use and the fast wires that we use, both of those are 2 of the best wires I've ever used.
Mm-hmm.
Like the standard Morosa stuff, I can't say yay or nay because it's not something I use. I prefer the higher end wires.
I know. I had it and you hated them.
Yeah.
You were like, when are you going to get rid of these pieces of shit wires on the shelf?
Oh, those things? Oh, God. Yeah.
They were Morosa wires. So I don't know what kind of Morosa wires. I know. Yeah. So yeah.
No, I did actually. I had some of those on my son's car, and probably after about 3 months, they were junk. Mm. So yeah, that's one of the places where we notice a difference changing wires. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. I knew there'd be something there. All right. Terry says, all right, if you set your valves at 1/8 of a turn, will the motor run like it has a miss?
No, it won't.
It's really tight though, huh?
No, an 1/8 is loose compared to we go 3/4 of a turn.
Oh, 3/4. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So no, an 1/8 of a turn preload, it will not run like it has a miss. So if you have a miss, then you've got a different issue other than the way you're setting the valves.
So if you got a miss, what would be kind of your hierarchy of what you look at?
It could be anything. The first thing I would do is run a leak down test, make sure you don't have something stupid like a bent valve going on or something hole down on compression or something like that. But beyond that, it could be practically anything ignition related. Could be fuel related in some circumstances.
Gosh, really could be anything then.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that's like one of those questions that you'll get every now and again. Hey, you know, the thing's missing. You know, what do you think it is? Well, fuck, I don't know. it could be this, or this, and read off a list of about 15 things to check. You know,
Well, it's right there with cooling. You know.
Well, cooling. Yeah, I mean that's the other comment, and we're coming up on the time of year where that's going to be the main question we get every week is how to keep my car cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, we haven't had as many E85 questions in the last month as we've had.
No, because a lot of people
all.
are switching to it where they can switch to it. So
yeah, and I think that's your fuel of choice at this point. You know,
Right
obviously,
now
if you can't use methanol.
correct.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we're talking making power, yeah.
Yeah. Well, making power, keeping cool,
yeah,
all of that. Yeah, good. Keep asking your questions, you guys. We love answering them. So.
Or don't ask questions. We can leave early and go eat.
Are you hungry?
No, but
okay.
I was just saying.
Okay then. Now, I'll be having some profab videos coming out here soon.
Good.
So it's good. Actually, for profab, we did, you know, kind of shot some videos on some of the stuff. They do some really cool stuff.
I'll go to Alex Racing and check out the video he made on his new car.
Oh yeah, that was while you were on your break. Because Mikey mentioned it, and
did he? Okay.
Yeah, Mikey mentioned it, and so yeah, definitely. I don't know. I don't have links. I mean, I could do links, but then I'd be searching and not paying attention and all that stuff.
Exactly.
So yeah. I don't think I had any other real questions this week necessarily.
No.
I mean, it's been a little quieter than it's been than previously because it's been a crazy year. I mean, I'm glad that we got a chance to catch our breath just a little bit.
One of my pet peeves. Can I talk about a pet peeve?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So one of my
sun in your face is one of them.
No, it's not necessarily that.
Stupid people is another
one.
Well,
yeah, but one of my pet peeves is like when I get questions on Facebook and somebody goes, "How much for a 602?" And then I have to respond, "For what class, what series, what rules are you running under, blah, 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 blah." And just, if you ever think about asking anybody a question about a crate engine, put all that stuff, you know, in with your question, because then I can actually answer it once and not have to go back and forth 3 times.
Yeah.
And waste my time.
Time is my most valuable asset.
And never, ever on Facebook click that pre-made, "Can I ask a question?"
I turn that shit off. I mean...
Can I turn it off?
Yeah.
I need to, because people do that shit and I just go delete. I'm like, I don't know. Can you? Ask the fucking question.
You just did. Can I ask a question? You just did.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
you gotta show me how to turn that shit off, because that nothing pisses me off more than that.
Hey, can we talk?
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. I automatically get like, fuck.
We need to talk. Oh gosh, I got something to tell you. But you know, later, dude, don't tell me. Gosh, that's one of my pet peeves in life. People don't do that to me anymore because I'll just be like, freaking spit it out. Yeah.
It's like, like Wesley. Oh, I got something to tell you. I'll tell you later.
Yeah. God, my friend Laura used to do that to me all the time.
He used to remember when he used to do his press releases. He'd be like, "Big news coming soon." I was like, "Fuck! How long do I have to wait for the big news?" Just say it.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you can't announce what.
Yeah, but so don't announce it.
Well, but I mean, sometimes there's a transition, or sometimes you want to. You know, I get it, but if you know all the news,
that shit drives me crazy.
Well, that's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, well, but it drives me crazy in the wrong way, because like if you do that, I'm like, I'm automatically not interested now.
Right. Oh, here's a question. Tom says, "Does Alex have any shirts or hats for sale?"
He has shirts. Yes.
He has shirts, and does he still have beef jerky?
I don't know. My brother might have ate it all.
Oh, that could happen. Yeah, but he has shirts, so he does have Alex Hendren shirts.
I know he's probably shy out a few sizes right now. So.
Gotcha. Yeah. He needs to. I think he's got them on his website, alexhendrenracing.com. And I think you can buy them that way. Here's a good question. We've seen this before. Kenneth says, how many nights of racings before I should change valve springs on a 602?
It'll vary a little bit, but on average, I say 3 to 4. Valve springs on those, if you're using a legal spring, which is what I would always use, otherwise that's the easiest thing to catch. About 3 to 4 nights. And all the springs, again, not taking away from your match springs, but
Hey, we sell them because people want them.
Yeah, that's why we sell them, or you sell them. But honestly, like what's been coming through here recently on GM springs, they've been pretty damn good. So I wouldn't be opposed just like buying a set of stock springs and throwing them on the car.
Now you'd still want the heavier springs to be on the intake, and the lighter springs.
Ideally, yeah. If you've got a way to rate them, then obviously you want the heavier spring on the intake valve.
And when you have a professional like me rating the springs,
right.
You want I got the good ones.
You are the new spring rater.
Yeah.
So I'm only putting top-notch springs in those boxes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep, our new spring raider, and he has gone to town.
I did get a damn stupid question this week.
You did? What was it?
What about those 85-pound springs?
Oh my god! Oh, and I told you earlier that I got that same question. Okay, we're gonna start right now. The 85-pound springs are bullshit.
Yeah.
Tell us why, Steve.
Oh, I read a whole article on why, but apparently Facebook decided to remove it because it was in my notes section or whatever. But anyways, it's complete total bullshit. So 85-pound springs are not worth $200 and however many dollars. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about why they're bullshit. Because if you rate them at install height, you might as well just kiss the springs because you're not even putting enough pressure on them to even. That's like poking a bear like a little bit, like right. If it's asleep. Whereas when we rate them halfway through the path of travel because a spring is going to spend most of its life either halfway open, halfway closed. And so when we rate them, people ask me all the time, well, what do your springs rate? Dude, mine are like 170. It doesn't mean anything. Right. Doesn't mean anything because nobody's going to install them at that height. But we're crushing them because we want to really know which, be able to separate. If there's a bad one, it's gonna really show up.
And
it won't show that up on an 85.
You can check a spring at installed height that will check at 85 pounds. And then halfway through its travel, it checks 4 pounds lower than one that checks at 80 pounds on the seat.
Yeah.
So it's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Marketing ploy by a scammy company.
And it could be that they didn't know any better, but we even have a video about it. I'm just so tired of hearing
this shit. It's like every now and then these scammy companies pop up.
Yeah.
Who'd you have? Crate Motor Connection? That stupid asshole.
Somebody asked where he was. It's like, I don't know, probably in jail.
Yeah, that stupid dick we had to deal with for 2 years until he finally ripped off enough people where he went to jail for fraud.
Yeah. Yeah, he's getting extradited to different states for taking people's money and his fraudulent claims.
So now you got another scammy company that's like stealing people's light ideas and all sorts of different shit.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I do need to get together with Von Stone Motorsports. Yeah, the originator of the pit lights. It's just been a busy year. Need to get together with Von, though. So we'll do that. Now, another good question, though, is I'm going to pull that out separately because that way I let it off with 85-pound springs of bullshit because that's the truth.
They are.
All right. Mike Haley says, how about valve springs on a 525? Now, the valve springs for a 525 are the same as the 604 springs. Correct. And those are going to be the beehives. Yep. And you don't need to change those nearly as often. They're an entirely different spring. But talking to us.
No, the 525, well, they do turn a little bit more RPM than like what a 604 does. The valve is way lighter. So those springs, gosh, I've had guys run 30 races. I don't necessarily recommend doing that. But on a 525, I would probably change springs every 15 shows probably.
Good to know. That's a good rule of thumb there.
Yeah, it's just not a big deal. Because you're still, like on our stuff, we're turning a max 7,300 RPM. So we're only turning, 500 more RPM than what we're turning a 604. Mm-hmm. And the RPM isn't necessarily what kills them. It's the temperature, number one. and valve weight. So.
Oh, wait, that's interesting.
Well, yeah, I mean, the heavier the valve, the more the spring has to work to control it. So the spring gets hotter trying to control the valve.
Oh, so the 525s have lighter valves.
Correct.
So they're not quite as hard as on springs. Huh. Interesting. And what are you turning for RPMs on a 525?
73 max on the stuff we do.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, most guys that are actually going fast and stuff like that, they're probably 7 to 72, maybe somewhere like that.
Whereas we're like 67, 68 on a 604.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So it's kind of a little bit of a wash. You got higher RPMs, but lighter valves, and then with the 604, somewhere in between there. Interesting. All right. And so I guess that answers all the questions. We're not quite at the hour, but are there any other?
Keep going. I mean,
if you're down to get personal, I guess a question for me to you would be: have you ever been like in a race where you were kind of like not exactly sure if you were gonna like be able to pull off a win, and that you were able to like pull it off by the skin of your pants? And
absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
Tell us a racing story, Steve.
I don't know. God. I mean, that's like on the spot, kind of like recall a memory from however long ago.
Okay, I'll focus it in a little bit more. Then with the fact that you're going into the Antioch race, Antioch Speedway's Racing Hall of Fame. What's one of your like racing win moments that really that you can just so recall? Where you can.
One that stands out in my mind the most probably is like, and sorry people, because a lot of you won't know this name, but racing at, since you're talking about Antioch, racing at Antioch is running against Larry DeMitz.
Okay.
Who was, God, at the time, Larry raced into his 80s, so probably when I was racing against him, he was in his 60s. And
Holy hell.
I mean, I remember I won a 60-lap main event there one night, and I was basically the entire race. I was on the outside, he was on the inside, and we raced side by side for what felt like 60 laps. I mean, I think I won by a few car lengths at the end, but it felt like the entire race. And I remember getting out of my car, and I'm like sweating balls, arms are wore out. I mean, everything. I'm tired as shit, and I'm like 20-something years old. And Larry jumps out of his car like he hadn't even run a lap. I'm sitting there going, holy shit. How is this even possible?
That's conditioning right there.
That's a man who's raced since 1950-something. So
Yeah, and it probably just got easier with the,
And he's in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow. So you get to join him there. That's really special. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of those.
And then going into the Hall of Fame this year with Bobby Hogue, who's like one of the guys that like just absolutely. He's one of the guys that taught me how to race. Not both advice wise and like racing against him.
Like following his line.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so like going in with him this year is pretty freaking cool to me.
Yeah, because he was the person that was really you're almost a mentor in a way, whether he wanted to be or not. I mean, maybe he told you some gears and setups, but really a big piece.
There's a reason his son is so good, and it's because Bobby's a good teacher. I'll put it that way.
Wow.
And I mean, not saying nothing away from little Bobby. Little Bobby was a hell of a race car driver, but Bobby's also, his dad is a hell of a teacher, hell of a coach.
Yeah, and that is something I definitely need to work on. I'm just saying, I can respect someone who can be a good coach and teacher. It's not my superpower. All righty. Well, I think it's about time to wrap it up, Mr. Hall of Famer. Well, I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for being part of the show. And if you caught us late, or if you just want to listen in, you can catch us over on racinginsiderspodcast.com. And it's the audio version of this. Or you can, of course, catch us live on Facebook or YouTube, 5:30 p.m. Eastern on Sundays. Well, I want to thank you all for being here. And we will definitely see you next week.
Hang on. Are we going to do an impromptu thing tomorrow?
It won't be. It's not going to be impromptu if we announce it today. I don't know if we're going to do an impromptu thing,
Well,
but we might.
I'm just saying.
If we do, watch out. Watch your notifications.
Yeah, notification might come
Yep.
through.
And if so,
If we
then-
decide to.
Yeah.
Because knowing Jim, I mean, Jimmy's like, he
Yeah.
loves being in front of the camera.
he does. He's great.
So
Okay. So watch out. We could be back tomorrow, and if so,
Or
we'll
not.
see you then, or not, or we could just be
we'll see.
drinking by the pool. All right. Either way, have a good one, and we'll see you soon.